Welcome to DY Beach in Sydney as we get set for the opening round of the 2018 and 19 Staminde Ocean Thunder Surfboat Series, presented this year by Byron Bay Wild Cider. Hello, I'm Renee Gardner, and what you can see is perfect conditions down here at DY. Although it's a little calm for our crew, there are 24 boat crews for the men this year and 13 for the women, and they're all set, ready to get their perfect win here in round one. In last year's women's event, it was the girls from Palm Beach who made it back-to-back series wins, claiming victory in 3 of the 4 rounds.
I think there's a smile already appearing with the crew.
While in the men's draw, it was the Beach Club Collaroy who broke through with a final round win to claim the overall series title.
Is headed home for victory and headed home to take the series.
Well, we are all set for what is going to be a huge day down here on the beach, but right now let's head up to the commentary box with Andrew Voss and Sam Squires.
Thank you, Renee. Always exciting. The level of anticipation before the first round is enormous, and Sam Squires returns.
I'm back
for this season.
That's it.
Equally excited.
I am. It's great to be back. I'm involved in this program for so long, and I love surfboats, and I love when we have quintessential great Australian weather like we have today, Vossi.
Well, sadly, the surf conditions not big, which will mean it'll be all grunt for the surfboat crews today and the flat conditions here at DY Beach. But you're going to see the best of the best.
You certainly are, Vossi. And look, that sun is shining. It's 20 degrees out there, but as you mentioned, a 1-foot swell. Not much to go by. It's going to be quite challenging.
Well, it's always exciting to see all the new boats that get brought into the Ocean Thunder Series, and this time we've got the girls from Woolgoolga. Catherine, a fair few hours to get down here.
Yeah, we had a good trip last night. We came down and staying close by, so all good.
8 hours each way. That's a fair stint.
It is a fair stint, and coming from a country club, we do a lot of fundraising trying to get us here, so we're always out and about trying to share the surfboat love, I guess. Yeah.
The sponsors help you get down here though, don't you?
Yeah, they do. We've had Byron Bay Wild Ciders jumped on board with Woolgoolga, so that's been awesome. Good sponsor to have, yeah.
Right, well, fill us in on the team. A great group of girls that you got here.
Yeah, so Rach, my sister, it's our first season together, which is pretty cool.
You haven't killed each other yet, so that's working.
Yeah, and we're rowing in the bow together, so if I need to, I can give it a one. So Rachel's second bow, Julianne's rowing second stroke, and Jules has been rowing for a few years with Woolgoolga, and Meg, this is her first year of surfboat, so she's come from Stillwater rowing, and yeah, doing great.
Well, we're very excited to have you girls. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best for today and for the rest of the series.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, fantastic commitment shown by the girls. 8 hours. Well, it'd be a fun road trip. They look like a great bunch of girls. And they featured in the opening race of the day, actually picking up second place behind North Narrabeen, which was led by Evergreen steer Don McManus. 2-time defending champions Budgie Smuggler Palm Beach picked up where they left off last year in Heat 3, claiming maximum points from Alley 1. Playing their joker in the first run of round 2, Palm Beach again looked a class above. Ellie Reynolds and co cruising to another win. In the second race, it was Byron Bay Wild Cider North Cronulla leading the way, holding off Monaval and North Narrabeen respectively. Round 3 got off to a familiar start as Palm Beach made it 3 from 3, but the real action was a battle for second, North Narrabeen slewing in the final stages and allowing Avoca to claim the spoils. In race 2, Mark Lee's North Cronulla crew made it back-to-back wins, Talabudra and Dar Before You Dig Monaval claiming the minor placings. The final round of heats saw Palm Beach pick up a 4th straight victory, and once again there was a thrilling finish for the chasing pack. Not to be outdone, North Cronulla made it 3 wins in a row in Heat 2 as Talabudra lost control on the final wave. Coogee, meanwhile, had issues of their own, crashing to the stationary boat of North Cronulla.
So we started with 13 women's crews. We cut that number down to 10, the defending champions on top after the 4 rounds this morning. Great to see the Woolgoolga crew through, but for the bottom 3, they have a little bit of work to do before the second round of the series.
The Ocean Thunder Series keeps bringing new boats in, and this time it's 2 boats for Avoca. Now, Matt, Richard Bridie's crew got 3rd last year. Was that a bit of a motivation or an inspiration to be part of it this year?
We're a young crew, so we strive to get better all the time, and they're the A crew of our club, so yeah, we strive to get to where they are at the moment, yeah.
Well, you mentioned that there are a bit of a young crew of boys here. Tell us about your crew.
A couple of the boys rode for me as juniors about 3 or 4 years ago, and The stroke is my nephew that rode juniors last year, and my bowman has been in the crew. Started with us last year, I think.
Obviously, sponsors are a big part of your trip down here as well too.
Yeah, we couldn't be doing this without the support of Riley and Son, so yeah, we're very grateful for the opportunity.
Let's check out all the action from the men's heats, and that crew you saw just there, Evoca Guard Dogs, featured in the opening race and picked up second place behind Sheldon Office Fitouts Newport. Last year's runners-up, Bateman's Bay, had a slow start, finishing 4th. Another newcomer, motor neuron disease awareness, North Cronulla, impressed in Heat 3, holding off series regulars Corrimal and Talabudra to claim maximum points. The crew then made it 2 from 2 in round 2, a thrilling finish, seeing them hold off Bateman's Bay, Coogee and Collaroy. Shane Jelovan and the Bulli boys were humming early as they won Heat 2 to keep their undefeated record intact. Riley and Sons Evoca Killer Bees made their first statement of the day in Heat 6, impressive winners over Talabudra. DY came out on top after playing their joker in another tight finish to open the 3rd round. North Narrabeen and Bateman's Bay forced to settle for 2nd and 3rd place respectively. Clement Marine Construction's North Cronulla were relegated to 4th position after they missed the turn in Heat 4. Clubmates Trade Pools had no such issues, picking up their first win of the day. Dull Before You Dig Bulli continued the strong showing in Heat 2 of round 4, once again claiming maximum points. Cairo came out on top in Heat 3, but all eyes were on the finish of Woolgoolga as they crashed into the Dull Before You Dig Monoval boat and upended sweet Ryan Halangahu.
That is nasty for Ryan. That's gotta hurt.
Bateman's Bay returned to form with a win in the opening run of round 5. Clement Marine Construction's North Cronulla finishing 2nd. Another crew yet to fire a warning shot with South Kirkhill. Rob Lowry's men quickly turned that around in Heat 5 with a bonus point joker win. In Heat 6, Evoca Killer Bees looked in complete control until the chasing pack all caught the same wave, setting up a blanket finish, Corrimal coming out on top. Race 2 of the final round saw Bulli complete their perfect heat run, making it 6 wins from as many starts. Not to be outdone, Evoca Killer Bees claimed their 5th win in the last race of the preliminary rounds.
For the 2018-19 season of the Ocean Thunder, we have 24 men's crews and Bulli on top after the 6 heats this morning, accumulating 25 points. But in total, 16 of the 24 crews have made it through to the qualifying round, to their first round, looking to hit the beach running and make a statement for the remainder of the series. The bottom 8 crews will have the afternoon off. That surprisingly includes Bateman's Bay, who was so good last season, and also the men's crew from Woolgoolga have missed out, but better days ahead for them. As we get down to business with the qualifying finals, there are 4 for the men's, and in our first race it is Torquay, Monoval, Bulli and DY. Wow, what about Ryan Halangalu today, Sam? That was extraordinary.
It was, wasn't it, Vossi? He thought he was home and hosed on shore and then caught one in the back. He's not injured though, so we're lucky there.
And we have the great cooperation of all the crews, and you have the helmet cam coverage, and Shane Jelovan on Bulli can take us on board the first time today.
On top of a green one, it's under ya. It's under ya. You're just sitting on it. You're sitting on it still. It's still there.
How good is that? India Lounge Room we go, and Sam, we should also mention your credentials as expert commentator. Yours is a love of watching but also competing in surf boats.
Yeah, it is. I competed for over 10 years in surf boats and I love the sport. I even raced in the first Ocean Thunder for women back in the day before I joined the commentary box. It's much easier from this position, I have to say though, Vossi.
All right then, well, we've got a good finish coming up to this first qualifying final. Bulli look like they're in control. The first 3 go through to the next round. You don't have to win, but you don't want to be in that last position. And Bulli have claimed victory here ahead of Monoval. And I think it'll be DY ahead of the Torquay crew. It's a run up the beach and dive to finish. DY 3rd and Torquay knocked out from the first qualifying final here as we go back to Renee on the beach with the Wanda crew who will be coming up in qualifying final number 4.
Some more fresh faces down here for the Ocean Thunder Series. Nathan, you're not so much of a fresh face. You've rowed in this before.
Yes, I have. Yes. But this time I'm standing up the back of the boat with a younger crew. They're our under 23s crew, and the boys are only 20 years old, so they're giving a few years away, I think, of experience. But they're rowing really well today.
Young and don't have quite the experience, but how are they handling themselves out there?
I think they're handling themselves really well. You might want to ask them, but I think their rowing's been good. They've qualified to this afternoon's finals that are happening now. So I'm looking forward to see how they go at the pointy end of the day.
Certainly wish the Wanda crew well this afternoon. A great part of the world, and this is our qualifying race number 2. North Narrabeen, Newport, Avoca, Corrimal. What about some of the names of the sweeps? The legend at the top, Don McManus, back literally for his 1,000th year.
It's pretty close to it. That's what I love about the Ocean Thunder and surf boats. It's a great surf boat community, and a lot of those names of those sweeps have been doing so for 10, 20, 30 years.
And this is from the helmet cam of Don on the North Narrabeen crew. Talking Hall of Famer, absolute legend, and great to have Don part of Ocean Thunder yet again. It wouldn't be Ocean Thunder without.
It certainly wouldn't. An all-round great bloke. That's the one thing you left out there. A top bloke as well, and a great sweep, and still going around with multiple crews.
And here there's a terrific sweep leading the way. Richard Bridey with a Riley & Son Food Services boat from Avoca. And great to have the support of Steve and Aaron Riley again in the surf boats this year. What great supporters they've been. A challenge being put out here by Corrimal, and Peter Scott the sweep there. The pressure is off because it really is only bragging rights, first or second. You both go through, and that's what's happened there with Avoca winning ahead of Corrimal. Newport will claim 3rd position. The Sheldon Office Fit-Outs boat, and that means that Don McManus's North Narrabeen crew have been knocked out in the 2nd qualifying race of the day. Our 3rd qualifying final features 2 of the Queensland crews, Kurrawa and Tallebudgera. So call this a bit of a state of origin battle, Sam.
Yeah, it sure is. 2 Gold Coast crews as well, representing the Maroons out there. But tell you what, it's a big road trip for those guys.
It is indeed, and sandwiched between the 2 Queensland crews in this qualifying final, South Curl in alley number 2 and the North Cronulla crew in alley 3.
Here it is now, let's go. Rev it up. That's it, chase this one. This is a good one. That's it, let's go, keep it going.
That is the North Cronulla sweep. Mark McDonald, and this year sponsored and giving awareness to the motor neurone disease awareness on the boat. So well done to the North Cronulla club and crew.
A great cause there. I just love hearing the sweeps when we've got those sweep cams on them. Some are excited, some have that panic, some are actually really calm as well, and you'll notice over the course of the Ocean Thunder just how different every sweep is.
Mark McDonald's going to bring his North Cronulla crew home close enough to 1st position here ahead of South Curl. They know that they can conserve a little bit of energy for later in the day.
Nice one.
A jog up the beach rather than a sprint. And only one of the Queensland crews will be going through. It'll be tight. I think it'll be Tallebudgera ahead of Kurrawa. Yes, it will be. So Gold Coast will be represented in the next round in the men's. North Cronulla, South Curl, Tallebudgera confirmed as through to the next round. So to the last of our qualifying finals, Wanda, North Cronulla, North Bondi and Fairhaven. And we can go on board at the start with Steve Lanark's sweep for North Bondi, and good to have Hawaiian Airlines back on board as one of the boat sponsors in this season.
Little white one on the nose, straight through it.
Done their safety checks, and it's nice to be flying on board Hawaiian Airlines, on board again with the Ocean Thunder. It's fantastic to see.
Lay back on it. Still there.
That is the voice of Adam Purdy, sweep for North Cronulla. Trade Pools, another sponsor, repeat sponsor back this season. This is going to be pretty tight. There's a chance that the Victorians, the Fairhaven crew here, are going to go through because they've shot through. It is almost still water rowing today, but if you can just find the smallest runner, what an advantage it can be.
Massive, isn't it? You can see there they just caught a bit of a runner and got a head start as they come back to the beach. And
Gotta go on this. Gotta go on it.
And And it hurts. It hurts that last bit of the race when there's no help and no waves whatsoever, Bossy.
And there you go. That's about as big as you're going to get. And Wanda picked it up right across at the top of your screen. It's been a good road from Fairhaven. They're safely through to the next round. Second will be North Cronulla. And Wanda have come through from last position to qualify. And that means that North Bondi are out of business for round number 1 in the men's. But we're just getting started in the Staminde Ocean Thunder Surfboat Series, proudly presented by Byron Bay Wild Cider. And after the break, the women will get in action in the qualifying finals.
Welcome back to our opening round coverage of the Staminde Ocean Thunder Surfboat Series, presented by Byron Bay Wild Cider, and thanks to Coates Hire for their help in once again making beautiful pictures just like these a regular part of our coverage.
Well, Renee, we dedicate this first round coverage to the late Rick Miller, an absolute legend, a Hall of Famer in surfboat rowing in Australia, who devoted over 40 years of his life to the sport. And two crews taking up the wreaths to sea. Rick Miller, rest in peace. Rick swept, trained, inspired all his life. First started way back in 1977, Sam. And he'd be watching down on what's going on today here at DY. Collaroy, Torquay, Palm Beach, Avoca and North Narrabeen in the first of the women's qualifying finals.
Yeah, he certainly would be, wouldn't he? He was an absolute icon of surfboat rowing. He was always down on the beach watching crews, sweeping crews. He was in the surf club all the time, training them. He loved this sport and would be very proud because in our next race, we have a new Avalon crew competing in the Ocean Thunder as well, Vossi.
And here now, Aston now.
We do. We'll tell more of their story. Peter Spence sounding a little bit urgent there with our defending champions, Palm Beach, chasing the Ocean Thunder title in the women's for the third straight year.
Off the track turn.
And now Scott Tannehill of Torquay knows that his girls are right in this. First four to go through, the fifth boat eliminated.
And just look at that lead that Palm Beach has at the moment. It's no wonder they're the 2 times champions. This is what we get in conditions like this. There's nowhere to hide whatsoever. It's just your brute strength at the end of the day that will take you home.
You can see the run even at the finish just to emphasise the skill of the Palm Beach crew. Peter Spence found that little runner. Conserve some energy for later in the day. There's big races to come. Now here's the battle for the minor placings. We have Collaroy, we have Torquay, Avoca, all in a sprint up the beach. That's a triple dead heat for second, third and fourth. For North Narrabeen, they are knocked out, or narrow 10 down to 8 from the women's qualifying finals. Now, the second qualifying final will Goolga, Monavale, North Cronulla, Tallabudgera and Avalon. You're right about them. Nathan Wellings too, the sweep. He rode under the late Rick Miller as well.
And 2 of the girls, Ange Sito and Beck Locke, were also rowers under Rick Miller as well. So a very special crew competing in this race.
We have the helmet cams with Matt Collins on Monavale and Mark Lee with North Cronulla.
Come on, Must. Over it.
for this one. And Mark Lee, well, he's had success here before. The North Cronulla crew winning 3 seasons ago in the Ocean Thunder.
Now we're into the elimination.
Good. Big hard push. Go stroke pair. Now. Ready. Fast. Down at Bowies. Go.
And again, if you're watching Ocean Thunder, you have sweeps that work in the men's and the women's crews. So busy day for them. So much racing. There isn't another day like it in surfboat racing
You get it. Make something.
than in Ocean Thunder.
You have to go. Straight up and go, girls. Straight up. Over it. Come on, Boogie. Over it. Come on.
All business for Mark Lee there. Sam getting everything he can out of his crew right now.
Yeah, it's just his motivation that's trying to get the girls to the beach, just trying to make the most of that tiny little bump in the surf at the moment, get them through to the beach and through to the next round.
And it'll be a win to Queensland in this qualifying final. Talabudgera first across the line. North Cronulla second. Avalon have claimed third. And Woolgoolga flashing past right there. They've made the semi-finals at their first attempt in the Ocean Thunder. So well done. Mona Vale's day comes to an end. Let's turn our attention back to the men's. Now we're really getting serious. Down to the quarterfinals. 12 boats still in line to take this first round victory. I do note last year, the winner of the women's in the first round, Palm Beach, went on to win the series. Not so the men's. Coleroy made the first final last year, but would end up being our series champion. But you still want to go well first round. You want to put your name right up there as high as you can get.
Set the tone, fire some warning shots. That's what it's all about, isn't it? And one crew that's certainly firing warning shots is the Bulleye crew with Shane DeLoven at the helm.
They were winners in 2016-17.
Make an effort from here, and I mean it. Let's go.
Wow.
Ooh, he
Gary
means
Williams
it.
threatening his Talabudgera crew there.
But Bulleye, I think they're going to turn the cans at first. They're in sensational form. I actually rode under Shane DeLoven as well. And I can tell you from what I'm hearing from the helmet can, he did not talk to our crew like he's talking to that one. It was a lot different, a lot more yelling going on when I was rowing.
Well, on the row out, they are the eyes of the crew, the sweep, although there's no big sets rolling through today. Maybe later in the series there will be. This is just hard work. This is just muscle all day. They're going to cop this. So many races for the men's and women's crews to take them through to the final. And then we introduce a double lap decider.
Just to make it a little bit harder. But that's the thing about the Ocean Thunder. You will not have another event like this where you have to row consistently so many times.
Keep it on.
Well, Talabudgera know that the last boat here is going to be knocked out. This is pretty close. Bulleye have had a resounding win, but behind them, Talabudgera, no, they won't. That'll be the end of their day. A face plant to finish. Oh, that hurts in more ways than one. Bulleye, Corrimal, Newport through. Talabudgera with a face full of sand. Say ta-da.
You missed the boy in round 3. Bit of a disaster.
Yeah, we started well last year, won the first leg, and it all went pear-shaped when you miss the can in the third round.
What about it? What's the prep been like coming into this year's comp?
Boys have been working hard this year to start the season off, and there's a couple of big events early on in the season, so I've got them firing already.
You've already got the same crew from last year as well too. A lot of familiar faces there. That helps.
Got Benny Lowe, Fraser, Heath Mercer, and Skim.
Skim it is. Skim, I'm not sure, but Skim has just had his 15 seconds of fame right there. We're going to see plenty more of the Bulleye crew based on their efforts so far today. The second quarter final, DY Avoca, South Curl, and the Victorians Fairhaven crew with Peter Grant the sweep. Let's go on board with DY.
Rangy now, boys. Let's use our range up.
You can see Fairhaven's just slipped behind a little bit. They actually got hit by a tiny wave on the way out. You think they're flat conditions, but every single second counts in conditions like this, and they just copped a little one on the nose and it just pushed them back. They're going to have to work extra hard and work those muscles to make amends.
And out to the cans they go. The Riley and Son Food Services boat here from DY find themselves
Shorty, let's go.
under a bit of pressure. And a turn will be very important here. Get a bit of momentum off the back of the course. Here we go.
To the untrained eye as well, you think in conditions like this, you just want to work really, really hard, but you actually get more strength, more power and more distance by being calm, being patient and just focusing on getting those strokes in time.
Well, you've got two Riley and Son Food Services boats here. Avoca leading.
There, up, up. That's it.
DY, though, it's a little more urgent. You can see they're dropping out the back at the moment.
You're going to work now, boys. We're in a bit of trouble here.
South Curl. Rob Lowry knows the story as well.
Get going. We've got to drop this. We've got to have this.
Oh, the voice is breaking as well. You can hear the panic in it.
Your day can end right here. It's not going to be the story for Avoca. They're through. I mean, that is just a cruise in for them. But behind them, have a look at it. 2, 3 and 4. Fairhaven second. Sprint and dive. DY definitely claiming it. And that means bad news for South Curl. Fraction of a second. And that is the end of their day in round 1. On to the third of the quarterfinals. It is Mona Vale, North Cronulla, 2 of their crews, and Wanda. It's pretty tough to split how this one will go based on results so far today. The bookends, left of screen is Mona Vale, right of screen is Wanda, the 2 Cronulla crews in the middle.
Yeah, so a few club bragging rights on offer for the North Cronulla crews, but out in front we can see Mona Vale and sweet Ryan Halangahu just getting his guys working there.
Good.
You've used that expression clockwork, but that's sort of how he wants it, smooth rather than frantic at this stage.
Yeah, just trying to keep calm and make sure that you're in time. That's the most important thing, especially in conditions like this where you have no assistance from the waves or from Huey at all.
So here at DY Beach on a splendid weather day.
Ready? I've got Wanda. We've got them covered.
Okay, well, there's confidence. Ryan reckons they've got Wanda covered, which is way across in alley number 4.
1 tick now for the rest.
But is that a fait accompli? I'm not so sure. Well, look at this. A little bit of a run for both Mona Vale and Wanda down the outside of the 2 Cronulla crews.
Fantastic runner there. You can just see how much speed they get off just from a little bit of a bump like that, and they're maxing that out.
Well, this really did close up. All 4 boats on the smallest of runs.
And
it is going to be down to the sprint. Wanda have come from 4th to 1st. That is fantastic. And it is Mona Vale that will be eliminated there. Second, third and 4th. There must only been 1.5 meters between them.
And Ryan said he had Wanda covered as well.
That's
He'll be
what
regretting that statement.
And the Staminde Ocean Thunder, plenty more coming your way right here from DY.
Welcome back to DY Beach for the first round of the Ocean Thunder Series. Now the women's semi-finals are just about to kick off, but before we do that, let's check the weather thanks to Staminde. Well, it's definitely warmer in than it is out. It's 19 degrees here at DY with 21 degrees the water temperature. The swells are still at 1 foot with 18 kilometre winds from the southeast.
Thank you, Renee. Just 8 boats left, 8 crews left in the women's. This is the first semi-final. Coleroy, Palm Beach, Avoca and Woolgoolga. Great first day for them in the Ocean Thunder. Can they make a final at first attempt?
Oh, it'd be great to see, wouldn't it? Fatigue certainly coming into play as we get to this end of the Ocean Thunder as well.
And quick one. And go, girls, out of it.
That was Peter Carter on board Avoca there. And Palm Beach, they've just been consistent all day, haven't they?
What makes them so good then, Sam, that the Palm Beach crew, they've won the last 2 years. What makes them so good?
Well, confidence for one. They know that they are the 2-time champions. That helps every time they step onto that beach. And 2, you have to say, when crews stick together, that is a recipe for success. And these girls have only changed 1 member of their crew for this season.
6, I want a length on them, at least. There's 7. There's 8.
Well, fitness has got to play a part. It is rare that they are not 1 or 2 going out. And most times it is number 1 going out to the boys the first time, and here they are again.
In these conditions, particularly fitness. I know when I rode, psychologically I'd always be telling myself, okay, just get to the 3/4 mark and then we'll catch a wave and then that'll be fine, I can have a break. But there are no waves for these girls to catch whatsoever.
Now, there's a problem here for Avoca. They have missed the can.
That is unforgivable. That is the sweep's job. He's the one that has to direct them around the cans and they've totally missed it.
Well, that's the end of their day. Peter Carter, they're going to have to go around again. They have missed the boat.
Guess Specsavers
as everything. They've missed everything, but missed the can.
As a sponsor, because I don't know what's happened. He needs glasses or something. He was nowhere near that can at all. That was, that's disappointing for those guys, and they know it. They haven't even gone back.
No, well, that means the other 3 crews automatically through, regardless of the order that they finish.
Okay, we need this bubble.
Mind you, the other 3 crews wouldn't be aware of that.
At all. He'd be hoping as well that possibly no one saw it, but he is wearing a camera, so there's no hiding on the Ocean Thunder at all.
And the good news for Woolgoolga, Damien McSkimming has got the crew through. They are into the final at first attempt.
All right, a little bit of controversy, and you can't have an Ocean Thunder series without some. Johnny Masters, give us the rundown on semi-final 1.
The semi-final 1 of the ladies, the Avoca crew were a little bit doubtful as to whether they went around their can correctly, so they made us aware of the fact. We went and reviewed the video, and they missed their can. As such, they were relegated to 4th, which allowed the Coleroy crew to come into the final.
Yes, all explained right there, and no one can dispute that that call. Woolgoolga, Palm Beach, Coleroy through, Avoca relegated to 4th after missing the can. So the second semi-final, Torquay, North Cronulla, Talabudgera and Avalon, a real state battle to have a Victorian crew, 2 New South Wales crews, 1 Queensland crew. 3 of these boats will make our first round final.
It's like a mini Ross Jorgensen Trophy here in this semi-final. And Ross Jorgensen Trophy, of course, is our interstate battle within the Ocean Thunder. But a tight start already for these guys.
It is. It really shouldn't come as a surprise that Torquay is up there. They did finish 4th in last year's series, so Scott Tannehill's got them going well again.
Still bumpy here, going up.
Experienced sweep, but in the middle, North Cronulla with Mark Lee doing well at the moment. First 3 to go through to the final. Lee's got them coming up to the can. Let's see, no mistakes this time.
Got 10, wait for it. Round. Take it away.
So you can see those 2 strokes, stroke and second stroke, they dig in the oars while the bow side, they row you around as well. That was a pretty tight turn, and most importantly, they got around the can in that race.
But again, that shot showed that, it is putting faith with the sweep. The sweep's directing you through. You don't turn around and see where the can is.
No, you don't take your eyes off your oar whatsoever, but that is an important part of the race, actually, straight after the cans. You have to get your power back. You lose a bit of power as you turn the cans, and we can hear Scott Tannehill just barking at his crews to pick up the pace and to get that power back.
So the order is the Byron Bay Wild Cider boat from North Cronulla in in front ahead of the Talabudgera crew from the Gold Coast. I don't think we're going to have a three-state order because at the moment Torquay's in a bit of strife out in alley number 1. North Cronulla may well be the favourites or one of the favourites going into the final, ready to throw down a challenge to Palm Beach. Talabudgera second, and Avalon Beach on an emotional day for the Avalon Club have qualified for the women's final. That's a great story. And yes, Torquay knocked out there. So that's the end of their day in round 1.
How did we feel, Bluey?
Yeah, good. We're slowly improving each race today, and conditions are hard out there, and the girls put a good race together then from start to finish, so I was really happy with the effort then.
I saw you having a bit of a group chat post the race of what you need to work on. Can you give us a little bit of insight what comes out for that next race?
Oh, it's just the positives that came out of it. We rode really well out to sea once we got into the chop, and we chased those little swells really hard, not waiting for the big ones, just chasing the little ones, to make the most of them. So.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing what you've got in the next race.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much. Good luck, girls. Cheers.
Focus shifts back to the men's. It is semi-finals 1, 2 and 3 coming your way. Wanda, Bulli, North Cronulla in this first one. I guess Bulli, Shane Jalot, slight favourite, but we've only got 3 boats side by side. 2 go through, 1 out.
Yeah, it just makes it really intimidating when there's only 3 in the race. Whether it's 3 or 5, there's only 1 gets dropped, but I don't know, it just seems even more scary when you're out there and there's only 3 of you and you know only 2 will go through.
Well, the consistent North Cronulla crew, we go on board with Adam Purdy.
Right, now we're out the back, let's get on to it, we're out dry.
They're in the firing line every round last year but couldn't win a round. So finished top 6 but without a victory, whereas we see the Bulli crew, they actually won round 1 last year but didn't go on with a job later.
Bulli go, let's go with them. Come on, working hard.
You can hear Adam Purdy just saying, go with Bulli. You can see them out of the corner of their eyes. They're up ahead, but just stick with them. And the other side of the field, you can see Wanda as well, just dropping back a bit. You just don't want to be that last boat to shore.
And around we go, and take it away.
Oh, it's messy turn there, completely messy.
Not the tiniest turn we've seen.
Just, it looks like that oar from the stroke just got caught in the cans, and that's cost them a couple of strokes as well.
Well, it's put the gap between first and second, made it a little bigger, Bulli in front, but closed the gap between second and third. Wanda still a chance. If Nathan Spinner can get this Gerard, Malouf and Partners boat going on the run in, maybe a little luck. If they can find a runner, they can pull their way up, but at the moment that's the order. It's pretty clear cut.
And you can see North Cronulla's just got a little bit of a runner there, and that's a skill in itself, is being able to make the most of every tiny little bump that you get in the ocean.
Keep working it.
And North Cronulla does that well.
Yeah, and Adam Purdy kept them on it as well, and that makes sure that there is breathing space between second and third. Bulli, they're definitely in the mix to repeat what they did last year and win round 1. It's a trot for North Cronulla to claim second, and the day ends for Wanda. A good first round, and we're hoping they go better throughout the series based on what we've seen here. So to the second semi-final, we've got the Sheldon Office Fit Outs boat from Newport, Riley & Son Food Services from Avoca, and the Hewler Beach Fairhaven crew lining up here. Again, only 2 of these boats will make it through to our 2-lap final.
And a slow start from Fairhaven.
Out for it. And go!
That's Mitch Foran from Newport. I was just saying, Fairhaven, they don't have the best starts, but geez, they can make up a lot of space once they get rowing.
Newport finished outside the top 10 in last year's series, so this would be a great way to start a new season.
Come on!
I tell you what, Vossi, they didn't look as though they got hit by a wave heading out, but there is a lot of water in that boat. If you look down, you can just see the water bubbling away there, and I mean, we don't have big surf. I'm a bit confused about why there's so much water in the boat.
Well, you don't want to add to the weight of your craft in such a cutthroat race as this at the semi-final stage, but Avoca find themselves seemingly in that position. They will get to the can first, ahead of Fairhaven, and Newport not too far away in third position. Here's Newport's turn. Mitch Foran.
Restart. Okay, go boys now.
clear that last oar and then pick up the rate.
I'll tell you what, that is one of the hardest strokes of the whole race. That one that you can see the strain on their face as they pick up after the cans. The boat is stationary, they have to get that moving as well. But look at that gap out in front.
Avoca's story last year, won one round, finished second in two, and then had one disaster. That was round 3, and that cost them a chance of winning the series. Maybe going to be more consistent this year. I think your assessment was right as to the water on the boat.
There should not be that water. There are no waves, and you can see the water coming out of the boat. They've got the pumps working there. I have no idea how or why that is happening, but there's not that much surf to warrant that much water in the boat.
My goodness, well this is a mistake that could have proved incredibly costly. They did well. The biggest surf of the day came through to help them make it into shore, but there's going to be a serious post-mortem for Avoca after that. Bit of a schoolboy error, I think, ahead of Fairhaven and Newport knocked out in the semi. So on to semi-final number 3. It's Corrimal, another one of the North Cronulla crews, and DY to be swept by Sean Stacey. And again, to all our sponsors that have come on board with the Ocean Thunder, we say thank you. Design Bathware sponsoring the Corrimal boat. North Cronulla lining up with the motor neurone disease awareness this year, and Riley and Son Food Services. In fact, they provide the medals for our round winners as well.
Lock and send, good. Lock and send, little bouncer.
Work and send, that's the message he's sending to his crew. Just trying to keep them in time, keep them in pace, keep their mind off the fact that it's a really hard slog out there.
Yeah, with a two-lap final still to come if they're good enough to make it. And North Cronulla, well, there's still a bit to go in this one. It is the Corrimal boat, the Design Bathware boat across in Alley 1 that is doing it toughest. In fact, Alley 1 knocked out, first semi-final, knocked out, second semi-final. Could be the box set here.
Good turn, let's go. Let's go home, boys.
Sean Stacey happy with that one for DY.
Half the race down, half to go, and this is where it really counts as they head back to shore.
So this is the last of the men's semi-finals. At the moment looking like North Cronulla and DY, the two boats closest to camera, although Corrimal's having a red-hot go.
Gotta have it.
Peter Scott, he won't be with a voice after this race, that's for sure. Just yelling at his crew to make the most of it.
Well, this is it. Is there any sort of run out there at all? Mark McDonald has got North Cronulla in front. They have got a run. This is a good feeling for them. They know they're getting through to the last race of the day. But behind them, still a bit to be decided. North Cronulla will win the last of the semi-finals. Nice dismount. Nice stroll to the flag. But here comes the race for second and third, and it's DY that will edge ahead of Corrimal. You now know your field for the men's finals. 6 boats are through.
Mark from North Cronulla, your crew out there, the conditions are a little bit tougher out there. There's not much swell.
No, not now. The wind's come up, no waves, just lots of chop.
How have your team handled it today, the first round?
Good. It was nice and glassy this morning, so for us, we got plenty of speed, so no worries.
Do you prefer glass over wave?
Yeah, we'll have it a bit smooth, yeah.
So any sort of handouts for your team before you go in?
Just make sure you row well. That's about it.
And listen.
Yeah.
Listen for the yell. Are you a yeller or are you?
I get a bit excited at the end.
Excited, boys, or angry? Bit of both. Bit of both. All right. Well, we're going to let you guys prepare for the next one. We look forward to seeing you with a medal around the neck later.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, there's only 2 races to go. The men's and women's finals coming your way after the break in the Staminde Ocean Thunder Surfboat Series presented by Byron Bay Wild Cider. again this year. Thank Kotaya for their support in putting together the best possible coverage of Ocean Thunder surfboat racing, and we've got the cherry picker out getting some brilliant shots across and over the top of DY here today. Northern beaches of Sydney, and this is the women's final. Collaroy, Woolgoolga, Talabudgera, North Cronulla, Palm Beach and Avalon in this final. So many storylines around this. The emotion for Avalon to have Woolgoolga in their first final, to have Palm Beach, the two-time champions, looking to win again.
We've also got a Le Mans start and a double race. This is the only surfboat event where they have a double race and a Le Mans start. It makes for an interesting final, doesn't it, Posse?
Well, Woolgoolga didn't quite get it right. They were clearly in 6th position of the half a dozen boats in the final.
Going up one now. 3, nice and long.
And you can see there's a fair deal of space between them and the boats out in front, although they have managed to catch up and pull alongside Collaroy on their left in alley number 1.
The Ocean Thunder is unique in itself because no other event where you race so many races in one day like you do here. And this is the first time Woolgoolga's competed in this, so fatigue will come into play as well in the final for them.
Yeah, and there can be no conserving of energy just on the first lap. You can't keep yourself for the second lap as we go around the turn with Palm Beach, with the champions.
Bring it round, Ellie! Bring it round, Ellie!
Oh, and no waves at all to give them any assistance as there. It was a bit of a sloppy turn from Woolgoolga, I've got to say, but they are around the can. The first of 2 can turns for them in this final.
Well, Palm Beach, they get pretty used to having nothing out in front of them.
On the legs. On the legs.
Still Damien McSkimming working his crew. Look, they're there, they're in the final, so it's a big moment. Whatever they do today, they're going to learn from. It's a great experience.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see new crews come into the Ocean Thunder and do so well. But I tell you what, Palm Beach was out in front, but North Cronulla, they just got a bit of a runner there as they head to the beach. And it's tight. This is a tight final. Look at this.
Fantastic. North Cronulla and Talabudgera.
And you can see there in Palm Beach, that's experience. They've raced the Ocean Thunder before in that they had the stroke, not the bow, jump out of the boat and do that turn. It makes sense, doesn't it? Because she doesn't have as far to go in deep water as what the bowman would.
100%. Shortest path between A to B. And that's what they've worked on there as the other crews ready to get away and pick up the rating right off the beach. They look a little weary.
Look really slow. You've got to be.
Surprise. It's not a damning criticism.
No. And I mean, you've got to be so quick on those turns as well. And as I mentioned before, with this crew,
There's 2.
Palm Beach, with this crew, that's the experience. They've been here before. They've done those turns, and they were just amazing in those turns. They were like clockwork, weren't they?
Well, if you want to call this the third part of the race, they have dominated. Back in rugby league days when there was 4-quarter football, they used to talk about the third quarter being the turning point. Well, Palm Beach have done it on that row out the second time. It was all level on the beach going in the first time, but then the third leg of the race, look at the space they've opened up.
That's fitness as well, and Peter Spence says this is the fittest he's ever seen this crew. They've only made one change from the crew that won last year. They are fit. You can just see them. They're working really hard.
Everything you got. Push back now. Push back now.
And that is Avalon there, and Nathan Welling's telling his girls to just keep working hard. But Palm Beach, they're fit, they're firing, they're in fantastic form.
Wow. Look at the space now between first and second. They won 3 of the 4 rounds last year. Peter Spence turning around a couple of times there. There can be no nerves. There will be no disasters.
And still plenty of energy to sprint up the beach at the end of that race.
The champions, bold statement in round 1 of a new season. Talabudgera, a great effort, a great day's racing for them to finish second, and North Cronulla podium finish third.
All right, the Palm Beach girls, an excited bunch, back to back. You were winners last year, and here we are again. It's looking good.
Yeah, well, today was the first time for Esther, who came in. She's our newbie, and yeah, it was a good day of racing. We progressively improved over the day. Again, we haven't really had that much experience so far as a crew racing, but yeah, really pleased.
All right, well, we definitely feel the buzz. Congratulations, girls and gents as well too.
Wonderful win, carrying on their efforts of the last 2 seasons. Palm Beach first, Tallebudgera second, North Cronulla third, Avalon, Woolgoolga and Collaroy the order. And this year, every round winner getting the medallions provided by our valued sponsors, Riley & Son Food Services. Well done, Steve and Aaron, for their ongoing support of surfboat racing in this country. A lovely touch. So to our final race of the day. It is the men's final. These are the crews: Fairhaven, the 2 North Cronulla boats, Avoca, Bulli and DY. Le Mans start again, 2 laps. What a grueling and tiring day it's been again, but so much at stake right now.
You can see the guys, they've run out to the boat, but it is the sweep who then says when they jump in the boat, because they still have to wait to see when the sets are coming in and when the waves are hitting the boat. You can't just get to the boat and then jump in and row.
Well, Shane Jalobin for Bulli, not their best start of the day right there, although making a little bit of ground up right now with Avoca.
Come on, dude. Come on, lift, Tambo.
Richard Bridie's had an outstanding day. Bulli have not been beaten going into the final.
They have been in great form all day. They've just been so consistent and intimidating every single time they line up to race. You can see them just neck and neck with Avoca, who've also been performing so well today.
From last year's series, Avoca finished 3rd, Bulli 4th overall. And around the can we go with Avoca.
Yeah, fantastic turn from them. You can see they hardly even stopped, did they? They had so much momentum running into that can and so much more coming out, which makes, as I've said before, that first stroke coming out of the cans even easier.
What about Staminde Club rivalry? Viewers watching right now, 2 North Cronulla crews. How competitive racing up alongside each other.
It is, because one will be labelled the A crew.
And that's Mark McDonald on board with the motor neurone disease North Cronulla boat.
Yeah, and if you're the B crew, you always want to beat the A crew, that's for sure.
By the way, with Avoca doing well again here, we got to the bottom of what happened to them in the semi-final.
Yeah, we did. I mentioned too, I kept saying there's so much water in that boat. I have no idea. There are no waves. Why do they have so much water in? Turns out someone forgot to put the bung in. So they were leaking water from the bottom of their boat the whole race, and they still managed to win, which just shows the strength of this crew.
And that shot on board suggests there's not a drop of water in the boat this time around. Have a look.
Someone learnt their lesson quite well, but yeah, they sure made it difficult for themselves and had those pumps going the whole semi-final.
Well, this is it, the last lap of the day, and the Riley & Son Food Services boat from Avoca is leading the way. Bulli has pulled up into 2nd.
They've got a lot of work to do, don't they, Bulli? They are a great crew and they've just been performing well, so well all day. Oh no, we can see there the stroke has just slipped out of the boat when they're coming in. These turns are tough, but they're so critical.
Now, let's go.
DY doing a little tough, but at the moment it's like a heavyweight showdown given the form of Bulli and Avoca today. They are out in front. Big chance there'll be a North Cronulla boat on the podium to finish in 3rd position. Not so sure about DY, whether they can come up and claim a placing here.
Avoca did that turn so well the first time they went around the cans. This will be critical for them. You can see they're neck and neck with Bulli. Bulli's a strong crew. They've got big boys in there. They'll be pushing it all the way home. And now is when the sweeps get a little bit, it's gone is that calm voice. Yep. Now is when they will lose their voice. They will go nuts on that final leg of this final.
Looking for every last drop of petrol now out of his crew, Richard Bridie. He's got them in front of Bulli. Is there any sort of runner at all to be found?
They are praying for a wave. There hasn't been a wave all day, but they are praying for Huey to blow a big one now.
It's 1st, 2nd and Daylight 3rd in the first round of the Ocean Thunder. Avoca is in the box seat to lower the colours of Bulli for the first time today.
He has a quick look around to see where Bulli is.
Look at the effort being put in by the crew on every stroke.
Oh, it's
clean
tight.
dismount exit. Now run through the shore break and Avoca. Oh, not so clean. One little will stumble back up onto his feet. Just to make their support crew a little anxious, but Avoca win the first round, Sam.
I tell you what, those boys wouldn't feel their legs at all. They would be so numb. They'd be so hard to row a whole race, no assistance from a wave, and then have to sprint through deep water and soft
Third,
sand.
it's close. Sam, it is a battle. North Cronulla and Fairhaven.
Duke, you're a little bit out of breath, mate. You gave yourself a fair amount of distance to run there.
Oh, mate, if I had it my way, I'd be going right in front. I'll just get told where to go and I've got to run.
You guys have been pretty quiet throughout, very consistent, but it seemed like you saved the best for last today.
Yeah, well, we've still got a long, long way to go, but we'll improve throughout the day. There's still a couple of little aspects that we need to work on, but it's only early days. Work towards the rest of the season. But we'll be right, we'll get there.
Cheeky little bit of money in the back pocket, though. You guys are going to enjoy the beer this afternoon.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's his brother's 18th, so...
Play on, play on.
Happy birthday, Benny.
There you go. Well done, guys. Enjoy the afternoon.
Thank you. Plenty of reason to celebrate for the Avoca crew, confirming beating Bulli and North Cronulla in our first round. Fairhaven fourth, DY and the other North Cronulla boat sponsored by Trade Pools. The presentation of medallions, will it be the only time this year they get the gold one? You'll have to be tuning in next time to find out. Avoca winners in the men's and Palm Beach winners in the women's, and also in our Ross Jorgensen Trophy. This is the Interstate Challenge, honouring a Hall of Famer in Ross Jorgensen, New South Wales over Queensland and Victoria after round number 1. Hope you've enjoyed today's coverage. The Staminde Ocean Thunder Surfboat Series presented by Byron Bay Wild Cider. We'll see you next time.